If you're relatively new to disc golf, you've probably seen someone out on the course that looks like this. Or like this, all decked out with every piece of disc golf equipment you could possibly need. And they're intimidating, and all that gear is expensive. But you don't need all that. Not when you're first starting out, and still trying to learn the basics. So forget huge bags and carts, dozens of accessories, and high visibility disc golf apparel or specialized footwear. All you need is this, a basic beginner backpack with only the essentials. So stick around while I show you everything you need to build your first bag. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs. And if you're a newer disc golfer, this video is for you. And if you're one of these people I mentioned earlier, this could be for you as well, as a reminder how not to overwhelm newer players when you meet them on the course. Now, we've done videos about building the perfect bag, building a forehand bag, and I've done in the bags in the past as well. Most of those make me look kind of like these guys. But again, you don't need all that. So let's talk about what you do need. And as we do, I'll be giving some basic definitions of disc golf terminology. However, when we're done, if you want to dive deeper, you should check out our Defining Disc Golf playlist from a couple of years ago. The link is in the description. So, where do we start? Well, the first thing you're going to need is a putter. A putter is going to be your slowest disc, and it should be the one that most closely resembles a frisbee. Putters are easier to control, and they minimize errors since they don't fly very far. For choosing a putting putter, or in other words, the disc that you try to toss into the basket, the only thing that matters is how it feels. Putting is a mental game, not a physical challenge. Almost anyone can throw a disc 20 to 30 feet. And I should know because I did 10,000 putts when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And the confidence that I got from that practice is still having a positive effect on my putting game today. Long story short, choose a putter that fits in your hand and feels right. But putters aren't only for putting. They're actually great for throwing as well, and when you're a new player, they'll fly almost as far as your drivers will. Putters are also ideal for newer players because they don't glide, turn, or fade very much. And if you don't know what those three words mean, good. They shouldn't mean anything to you. Nearly every disc in disc golf is assigned with what we call flight numbers. They're supposed to explain how a disc flies. But if you're new, those flight numbers won't be accurate for you. All you need to know is how to quickly identify using flight numbers whether a disc should be overstable or understable. Stability refers to a disc's flight characteristics, or what direction it's likely to fly. Stable refers to a disc that is more likely to fly straight. They're also referred to as neutral discs. Overstable discs are more likely to fly like this for you when you throw them on a right-handed backhand. They're just going to want to fall out of the air aggressively. And to be clear, that is very much what they're designed to do. To quickly identify an overstable disc, look at the last two flight numbers. If the third one is a 0 or a -1, while the last one is a 2, 3, or 4, or even more, that is overstable. Essentially, the higher that last number is, the more overstable the disc is, and the less beginner-friendly it becomes. Understable discs have numbers like this. The third number is typically a negative number, from -1 to -4. While the last number is usually 0, 1, or 2 at most. Understable discs are much easier for newer players to throw, and they're more likely to give you this type of flight, either drifting to the right for the entire flight, or giving you a bit of an S curve like this, where they go right a little bit at the start and then finish left. If you prefer to throw forehand or left-handed backhands, simply flip the directions that I've explained, and it looks like this. So, for those keeping track, what's going in our bag so far is at least one putting putter, maybe two of the same putter, and then we should have at least two throwing putters of different stabilities. You could get a slightly overstable one like this Envy, which will be great for approaching the basket, or a slightly understable one like this Deputy, PA5, or Narwhal. This is going to be one of your farthest flying discs right out of the gate. Next, let's move on to mid-ranges. Mid-ranges are a little bit faster than putters. If putters range between 1 to 3 speed, the first of those 4 flight numbers we talked about, mid-ranges are in the 4 to 5 speed area. They can give you more distance, but they will also move more to the left or right than a putter will. This opens up new angles and new shot shapes, but it also creates opportunities for bigger mistakes. We would recommend bagging 2 mid-ranges to start. The first is one that is neutrally stable, or in other words, straight. and another one that's maybe moderately understable. In the straighter slot, there's a ton of great options, such as the Claymore, Buzz, Mako 3, or Dune. For your understable option, try to find a disc that has between -2 and -4 of that third number, which is called turn. This disc has the potential to fly even farther than your understable putter. There's a lot of great options in this category like the Tursus, Lobster, Rollo, or Founder. Now that we're talking about mid-ranges, this is also a good time to talk about weight. Disc weights are measured in grams, and the max weight for putters and drivers is typically around 175 grams, while mid-ranges can go all the way up to 180. As a newer player, you should typically avoid throwing max weight discs. It's going to be a lot harder to get them up to speed and to get the desired flight characteristics. So if you can, try to find discs a little bit lighter, maybe in the 160 gram range. At this point, we're up to 6 discs in our bag. 1 to 2 putting putters, 1 to 2 throwing putters, and 2 mid-ranges. Now, there are countless accessories that disc golfers carry, but there's really just 2 that you should have as a new player. The first, unexpectedly, comes from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Printed in large, friendly letters on its cover.
No, not that one.
If you want to survive out here, you gotta know where your towel is.
That's right, any towel will do. But keeping a consistent grip is super important, so towel off your discs, dry your hands, and let her rip. Oh, and the other thing you're going to want to have in your bag is your phone, along with a free app called UDisc. UDisc, not a sponsor of this video, is an essential app for every disc golfer. Yes, you can keep score, measure throws, and even get a pro subscription to unlock dozens of features, but most importantly, it can help you find courses and shops all over the world. UDisc just released their annual disc golf growth report, and it has tons of info all about our growing sport. For example, did you know that 89% of the 17,000 disc golf courses worldwide are free to play? Pretty cool. You can learn more about UDisc and read the full report at udisc.com. All right, back to the bag, and it's finally time to talk about drivers. That's right, the fastest discs in the game, the ones the pros are throwing over 600 feet, and the ones that you should avoid almost entirely. Faster discs require a faster arm speed, and they also often require more spin and better angle control. All things that newer players don't typically have. So for drivers, we would recommend sticking to discs no faster than an 8 speed. And ideally that are quite understable. Remember, understable means that third number is going to be very negative, and they're just going to be a lot easier for you to throw. This is going to give you the best chance to get decent distance, but once again, drivers will glide a lot more than putters and mid-ranges, allowing them to potentially travel hundreds of feet, not just toward your target, but also right or left away from it. And once again, that lack of control is not ideal for newer players. Here's a few examples of drivers we would recommend: the Ozone, the Function, Leopard, F9, or Signal. There are also some extra lightweight discs specifically designed for beginner players that tend to be quite understable, such as the Jade, the Diamond, or the Motive. And honestly, just these few discs are plenty to get you started. And there's obviously plenty more room in a $20 starter bag like this for you to grow and add to your game over time. And besides, before you get more discs, you're going to want to spend more time learning the basics and focusing on controlling your release angles, your nose angles, and more importantly, having fun, because that is what disc golf is all about. If you want to learn more about the basics of disc golf, check out our Defining Disc Golf playlist. We made the videos a few years ago, but they are still very relevant to new players. And if you're ready to take your game to the next level and start competing against other players, then get yourself a Professional Disc Golf Association membership at pdga.com and sign up for tournaments on discgolfscene.com, like the tournaments that we're running this season. The first of our Ohio's Great Courses series will be May 2nd and 3rd in Coshocton, Ohio at Eagle Ridge. It's a challenging but beautiful course just 2 hours east of Columbus. Comment below if you'd like to see more beginner-focused content like this on our channel, and consider supporting us by becoming a member, or you can pick up our disc, the Hexagon, when it's back in stock at sixsidediscs.com. For Six Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in the next one. Stability refers to the words. Stability refers to the direction. Why can't I talk? Stability refers to the direction a disk's flight. What? Stability refers to. They can give you more distance, but they will also do something else. Oh, and the other thing you're going to want to have in your bed. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or becoming a member. Your support makes this content possible.